when we started working together, what were your concerns around sales training? Had you had experience of sales training before? What was it like? How had it landed? Tell me, what was it? What was it all about?
I think in our case, we kind of just naturally had learnt sales. So, I guess they were founder sales really in the early days. And and for us, I think we'd learned a lot, but just kind of naturally found our own ways. And then as we started to scale sales teams, we were starting to think about, well, how do we upskill this team? How do we get the right advice? There's lots of books and things on sales and stuff, but some of those books are theoretical or based around SaaS or software or technology. So we think about, how do you kind of pick and choose the right sales rules or sales strategies that are kind of relevant that kind of go into ag or ag tech versus those that don't. And that's probably the challenging bit. Is this for us? Because some of those things, the natural sales rules, just not always true for ag.
Jocie, what about you? Because obviously I think you knew us through the other amazing, wonderful agri-tech community having Aussie. What was it that you went, oh, yeah, this guy might be able to help the team? Or what was it that you liked about us and what we stood for, perhaps?
Yeah, Sinjin, I think it was a little bit like, and Andrew sort of said it, when we were doing founder sales, we realized that it was the knowledge in the product and the people in our team. It was like when we wrote our values, you think of the most amazing people in your team and why. And so it was the same thing with sales. They're amazing at the product and product specialist style, but how do you help create more, I guess, for the selling side of things so that their confidence could be built in that area? I think that's something you've just been so key on, like helping giving them the tools, but and that confidence really.
Yeah. And so when we then started working together, you went, oh, this bloke might know like half of what he's talking about, but I mean, you're probably still working that out. Is like when we got together and we trained the team remotely, and then I came over to Woomba and we had a session together. What was it that you started to see or change, not with all the team, but some of the team, ones that were really resonating with it? Because we know not everyone's going to, turn the switch straight away. What was it that you started to see that you liked seeing?
I think the natural curiosity, I think, came out particularly in some people in the team. Like, I think it was a curiosity around how do I become professional at what I do and step up to that next level, and what have I been doing wrong all this time I never knew about. I think was something. I think it was the uncovering of what don't I know that I don't know. And that curiosity to learn more about that, I think, was one thing that certainly came out. And others, sometimes was a realization, I've been doing something naturally really well. I just didn't know I was doing that. And kind of validated some of the things they're doing as well. So I think that was definitely something that I noticed across the team, in different levels across different people within the team.
So you obviously naturally, because when you were doing those funding rounds as well, you've probably taken a bit of that stuff as well. So now that we've got to this newer engagement, which is a more intense sort of hands-on fractional engagement, what are you like that you've seen? Don't talk commercials, but what have you seen as a result once we've really got stuck into the team? What's starting to change now?
I think the fractional part of it has been really good because we're starting to see what excellence looks like, and able to really push the team and having I think the independence has helped a lot. When I say the independence, having someone coaching the team can really push people out of their comfort zones to really excel at what they're doing. And so now we're starting to see really good examples and uncover traits within the team that maybe we couldn't quite see before or weren't obvious before, which is really good. And it's also shining a light where we're weak as well. And so, that kind of fractional approach has been really good across the team because, I think I always believe the best people come from within your own team. And so it's helping us, within our own team, find the excellence amongst our own team and the natural skills we have, as well as helping us build skills where we're short on them.
Jocie, what do you think? Like, you're very good at observing. like when we've been with the team, we trained the team, and you've watched and the training we did virtually and then in person, and now this in sort of more intensive that we're doing right now with the team and
Yeah.
knocking over some numbers. What did you, how would you describe that training experience? Like, what was different
Yeah,
about it?
I like the way you'd always unpack a situation with them, Sinjin, because so you'd actually get it back to the fundamentals. And, it probably took them a little while, but coming back to open questioning and really listening to people. I think in life we all run ahead so much, and you sort of only listening to what you want to hear,
Mm,
where you really are trying to slow them down. You're trying to get them to listen. What are your pain points? How are we helping solve for someone's needs? And
mm,
I think, it's building the confidence. That's what I'm loving. And now I guess the fractional part's holding them to account. So, you've laid the foundations and now you're holding them to account. So for
yeah,
me, it comes back to numbers,
yeah,
and
100%.
getting them to actually give them to me. But, yeah, being able to build the resources so that they can actually, share these, situations together. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we won't talk commercial numbers because that's sensitive between you and I, and we don't breach that stuff. Are you happy with the numbers that you're seeing since we've done this sort of intensive?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
we're setting targets and we're nailing them now, and it's the hockey stick thing too. It's not just we're seeing now performance build within the team, and the trend hasn't plateaued out, right? Like it's still growing here. So really in the early stages of the potential of our own team.
Yeah, good. And then, so what would you then say to others, like your peers? What would you say about it? Say, oh, he's all right. Or what would you say? How would you describe like our style, our philosophy, like the training experience? What would you say to them about us?
I think bringing in external coaching for your sales team is really good because you bring in a wide perspective of experience and knowledge that you may miss or not have. And so, it's what's shared from, I guess, from experience across work in multiple teams. It's brought to the table with the independent coaching and even things from postmortems that we do. The team really enjoys it. It's great fun. I love being part of that because when you look at a sales deal that went wrong or how we didn't quite hit the mark, the experience is brought in from outside as well as your own experience. Really, it's a kind of a 1+1=3 thing, right? We've got our own insight and teams bringing up, but then we've got external insight as well that comes in, adds more value as well on top.
Jocie, what would you say to someone who might be watching this and going, not sure, sitting on the fence? We're talking to a few other providers. What would your advice be to them? What would you say to them?
Um, I like your style, Sinjin, and I think, bringing it back to, basics and that genuine curiosity and that genuine, and yeah, just really getting to know the team and taking them on the journey. I think it's been really valuable. So thank you. It's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm really enjoying this sort of intense part. I've wanted to get here for a while, not the intensity of me, although that could be challenged, but more like I'm really happy with how we're traveling. I think, as Andrew says, we're really only just getting started and we're really building those sort of the systems in place, the cadence, the consistency. You've got a great team. You've got a wonderful, wonderful product and system. And I'm really excited to see where we're going to go with it. So I really appreciate you entrusting me with your team and putting up with me as well, because we don't muck around. So it's good.
That's right. We're having plenty of fun as well, so it's all good.
Yeah, we
Thank you,
are, we are.
Sinjin.
So
That's
I
awesome.
really, thank you, and thanks for saying kind words. It means a lot. I am very excited to see once we really start cracking and getting pace on this thing where it's going to take you. So thank you.
Terrific. It's great to have you on the journey.